Good afternoon, and thank you all for coming. I'm here today for one reason: to recruit all 2,000 participants in this conference to join the Rocky Mountain Institute and Carbon War Room at the front of one of the most difficult battles in climate change. The global maritime shipping industry is the backbone of global trade. Over 90% of all things moved are moved on ships. From the fuel you use to your toothbrush, it spent time on a ship. This industry emits about a gigaton of carbon a year. If it were a country, it would be tied with Germany as the sixth largest emitter in the world. Tied with Germany. But countries like Germany and the United States have a plan and commitments to deal with their carbon challenges. The maritime industry doesn't have a plan. And because it's not a global entity like a country, it doesn't make commitments. And our plan is to help it do that. If left unchecked, the shipping industry by 2050 will represent 17% of global emissions, which is where the United States stands today. But we think we have a solution. Because you see, ships are a lot like floating power plants. And while they may be the most efficient way to move goods, they're not the most efficient users of fuel. And in the last 5 years, the Carbon War Room shipping operation has worked with industry to prove that there are proven, cost-effective, and profitable carbon-reducing technologies that can be retrofitted on ships today and deliver up to a 30% improvement in the energy use of those ships. In fact, just this March, we completed a retrofit for Homonia shipping that cost about $1.2 million to use. And for some slick paint, a nose job, a little fix to the rudder, and some software, it'll deliver up to $400,000 a year in savings. That's a 3-year payback. But these are really difficult deals to get done. This is a low-margin industry, very risk-averse, and there's thousands and thousands of owners. It's hard to monetize the savings from those energy retrofits. There's lots of stakeholders, and the split incentives are massive. And because of 1 and 2, and the facts that ship move all over the world, going from port to port, and there is no shipping repo man, it's very difficult to get these deals done. But we are standing up a solution. Today, we are announcing the Double ROI platform. It's an industry-centric collaboration that is designed to scale the market for energy efficiency retrofits very quickly. The platform will focus on 3 areas. First, we will continue our work to build awareness and confidence in these technologies and to rapidly drive demand in the shipping industry. We will catalyze deals, getting real deals done with real ship owners and with real technologies, and use those as demonstrations, packaging up the lessons we learned and the confidence we build in the technologies to redeploy this to scale back to industry. Now, shipping is a pretty glamorous industry, and it's fascinating to work in, but that's not why we're here. We're here for impact. A 30% improvement to the operating costs of a shipper is huge. This is an $8.4 billion industry that is waiting to exist and won't take much to get going. But most importantly, the impact on global climate is massive. This will be a 250 million ton a year reduction that we can get, which, as you saw in the last presentation, is the equivalent of 50 million cars off the road a year. Now, why Carbon War Room and Rocky Mountain Institute? We've got 35 years of experience working on energy and energy efficiency. We focus on business and business incentives to drive change, the profit and loss statement and risk, which is great in an industry that's already filled with advocates and policymakers. And lastly, we've done this before in several complicated industries. So what can you do for us? Vote to win. The Double ROI platform is at the pointy end of the spear of the carbon problem. Help us find deals in the shipping industry. Help us innovate in finance and credit enhancement. And lastly, as we stand this up, we'll be seeking funding. So please think and help us fund the Double ROI platform. Thank you all.